After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome
Hi.
to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 481. Today is Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, as we are recording, because we're recording a day late.
Yes.
I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy. Don't mind me, I am currently having a foot cramp, so if you see weird movings back and forth, that's a foot cramp.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad you found us. We hope you see something you like and that you will keep coming back. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you with us. If you are new and or returning and you are in the shadows, please feel free to join us officially. You can gently tap the little subscribe button and the bell so you get notifications when we put up the podcast. And if you really want to take part in what we do, the alongs and things like that kind of stuff, the camaraderie and all that, you have to be part of our PHN home group, which is at phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. All this information is in the little description box below. We do have a new member or two. I'm a little confused because they came in one right after the other, and the names are really similar with the same email address. So I don't know if she just changed her mind what name she wanted to go by,
Or she didn't realize that she got in. Like maybe she
right,
had...
or if she had a minor that's got daughter or something that has the same email. So anyway, we want to welcome Helen and or Helena. Okay,
Yes.
that we're glad to have you with us, and we hope that we will hear from you soon and get to know you.
Either, both of you.
Either and or, right? Okay, so that's great. You have 8, so you go first.
Yes, let me just... There we go. I am trying to hide the ginormous hips. There we go. Move this over here because I do not drink left-handed. I am not, in fact, left-handed. Okay.
I am not left-handed either.
So I'll tell you a story about this mug later. But in my Adagio Advent mug, I always am afraid I'm so terrified now that we have this, the floor being
Tile
that I'm going to drop a mug and shatter it.
Mm-hmm. We've already shattered something on there.
Yeah, I remember. That's part of why I have the terror.
Yeah.
That I will shatter something. Because I know it has been done already.
It is a new floor, and it is mighty.
It is a mighty floor.
And that is a reference, garbled as it is.
It feels like it's a Thor reference.
It is a Thor reference.
Okay, let me stir this because I did not. We had our cupcakes prior to this.
So we wouldn't mess up the tasting, because I'm doing the December box for Adagio, and I didn't want to mess it up for the rating because that cupcake is so very strong.
Yes,
it's a strawberry cupcake, and it's very strong.
So, I don't know why I haven't done my thing like this before. I should have done this, set my legs up like this a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, this might be a little bitter for you.
Okay.
Although,
what is it?
This is the Black Forest.
It smells good.
It is good, but it might be a bit bitter for you.
It smells really good.
I feel like the cherry really comes through. Like I said, it might be a bit bitter for you.
It's not bitter. It just...
You don't taste the cherry?
No, I smell it. It has a slightly... You know what it kind of has? A cough syrup kind of aftertaste. Or something. Or a cordial. You like those Wilton original candy boxes with the cordial cherries?
Yeah.
And
it's been so long since I've had a dark forest. I feel like I can taste it in this.
Are you going to tell your cup so I can go through mine and all that?
Oh, I already mentioned I'm going to tell more about it later.
Acquisitions, yeah.
And this has black tea, cocoa nibs, natural chocolate flavor, dark chocolate chips, cherries, natural wild cherry flavor, natural cream flavor. And sometimes there's things that are not listed on the label because they weren't able to fit it on. Mm-hmm. And this is Adagio teas.
And they don't always put everything on theirs, at least for the samples and things.
Yeah, for the samples, I think there really isn't enough room. I think usually they're better about putting it on these.
Okay, and I'm using, again, Chronically Crochet's Crochet Owl mug, which I absolutely love so much. And my tea is the first of the December box. What I'm doing is... For Adagio. I'm having the tea the day before, so I can write up the review and take the picture for tomorrow when it's supposed to be had and put it up on time. Because
so that means for like all of December you're going to be seeing Adagio teas from Mom.
From me, yeah. Okay. And it's a one serving, and what it does is it gets you to taste different teas. Some are fandoms and that are made by people there, and some are Adagio itself.
There were a fair amount of what they called plain teas this time around, like straight Yunnan or whatever.
Well, this one's called Christmas in Space, and its ingredients are black tea, cinnamon, orange, natural spice flavor.
Do you read?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at black tea, cinnamon, orange, not cinnamon orange, but cinnamon, orange, natural spice flavor, natural coconut flavor, raspberry leaves, natural currant flavor, cardamom, cloves, coconut, natural ginger flavor, natural cinnamon flavor, ginger sprinkles.
And I saw the sprinkles when I opened the packet, but the thing that really hit me when I smelled it and when I tasted it was coconut. And at first it was very watery, so I wasn't sure. I was going to give it maybe a 2 or 2.5, 3 rating. It is blending together better now.
Yeah, I generally don't give a 2 or even a 1 unless I really hate something.
Actually, this is not too bad anymore.
So you might be able to do a 3.
I'll probably do a 3 or 4.
I do 4 if I like it but not enough for a 5. 3 if it's like not horrible.
Yeah.
Because 2 and below is I hate it.
Yeah. This is kind of a meh.
So that would be 3.
Yeah.
Actually, I rather like that.
It's growing on me. I wish you could have seen it, tasted it when I first had it.
I rather like that.
It is growing on me. It will probably be a 3 or 4 depending on my.
I like the coconut in it.
See, I like coconut, but I don't like it to be the flavor that's forward.
It adds a nice little sweetness. I almost can taste the texture of the coconut in my brain whenever I taste it. I feel like I can chew the coconut.
Now it's tasting, I don't know what it is that's melding with it, but now at least it's pleasant.
It's probably the chocolate in the coconut. It almost tastes like a macaroon right now.
That's what it tastes like now. See, this will probably get a 4 from me. I think it's gone up a little bit.
It almost tastes like a macaroon right now, and you might want to write that in your notes.
Yeah, let me just say.
Because I feel like I just popped a macaroon on my mouth, and because it's so close to that taste, I almost can, in my head, get the sensation of chewing that macaroon, which I love the texture of macaroons. I think they're all have dairy in it, though.
4 stars. Up from 2 to 4 stars. Okay, because I really, when I first, some teas just
they need to
settle a little bit to mix with the flavors and whatever sweetener you put in it. I don't know how they could do it without sweetener. I wouldn't. No. I mean, there are a couple like the Germany tea that I could, but
I don't even attempt it.
But this one, I need to have the sugar in it, and it actually is maturing, aging quite well. So yeah, it went up from a 2 to a 4. Because when I first tasted it, I was almost going to dump it. It was that watery, but this is good. Well done, Adagio. Okay.
Well, that one's not Adagio. It is Adagio, but it's a
It's not a fandom.
It's not a fandom?
I don't.
With a name like that, it's probably a fandom.
Well, it might be. Yeah. It doesn't say who does.
Well, it's not going to say it on there. It'll say it on the page. That's probably a fandom. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah. So it's not a bad tea. I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
The name's just a little too fanciful to not be a fandom.
Right. I wonder what the reference is.
Somebody will have something in there.
You have to ask. Oh, I guess we're not doing stuff yet.
No.
Okay. Because apparently I'm running ahead of myself. Our alongs, okay? We have the Christmas cow lal, Christmas all year long cow lal. And after today, we're in our last month. And then we get to start thinking about tea and tails, everybody.
Yay.
I know you're all excited about that. You guys really like that. This is our third one of these to the one of everything else that we've done for a year. So I guess you like it.
You know, people like that one, yeah.
So I'm really happy about that. We'll be getting into that starting in January. But right now we're still in Christmas all year long. And this runs from January 1st, 2021 through midnight Eastern Standard Time, December 31st, 2021. And as I've said ad nauseum, if the threads happen to be open later than that for you and you see it's open, you can slide something in. But please don't bet on that, okay? If you want something in, put it in. But that's only say, oh, you decided to start something, you finished it, and oh wow, it's still open, it's a bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, don't wait, please. We want you to have all your chances for your prizes. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted.
Now.
Previous whips will be allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures are all on the same thread. One whip, that's a work in progress for newcomers. One whip per project per week, and the FO, which is a finished object, okay, whenever it's completed. We do have prizes. We've already done 3/4 worth of prizes, and we have our fourth one sitting there, as well as an end of year. We showed Christina's prizes, didn't we? Yes, we did last week.
We did when we got it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. If an FO, okay, the hashtag is hashtag PHN Christmas All Year 2021 on Instagram. If an FO uses 50 yards or less, please post with another FO of 50 yards or more. Any FOs in Franciscan Gypsies Designs, any Lady Fernicle Creations yarn or shawl pattern, I only have one shawl pattern right now, or Lollipop Girl yarns or Laura Concert Designs projects will be eligible for 2 chances of the prize for the finished object only. And if you use a featured yarn with a featured pattern, that's 3 chances of the prize for the finished object. You are responsible for your multiple postings. We also have multiple chances for prizes for things that go to Operation Christmas Child, or those that go to Christmas donations, like our pregnancy center, and just let's see, projects that are made predominantly in the Christmas colors of shades of red, blue, green, silver, gold, purple, pink, along with white or cream, are also eligible for 2 chances at a prize. We want to make sure that people who don't celebrate Christmas and who feel like they don't want to do that kind of thing but still want to do it along have a way of doing it. Yeah. Okay? All right. Now, and all this stuff is in the threads. There's a lot of kind of minutia in there that it would confuse you if I spoke it. It's on the thread, okay? Because it would confuse me to speak it, okay? All right, let's see here. The other, we have another along called Out with the Old, Cal Lao 2021, and this one is every year at the end of the year. So that's October through December, October 1st to December 31st at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Rules are basically the same for all of our longs, except for this one, there are no caveats about color or anything like that. Featured yarns and featured patterns are all the same. Minus the pregnancy center and the Christmas child and that kind of stuff. There's no special colors, nothing like that. The only caveat for this one is that it has to be already started by October 1st of 2021. If you started October 1st or later, that doesn't go in here. That goes somewhere else. Okay, show off or one of the other alongs. But to be out with the old, anything started prior to October 1st of 2021 is allowed, and this is to finish all the things, those things that you've had on the needles and the hooks and the looms forever, or even not forever, but just you have them on there and you want to get them off so you can be prepared for our Ready Set Go in January. So
I have like songs going through my head now. I have Be Prepared.
Okay, well, be quiet because I'm talking. Don't make me hurt you.
I'm not doing anything.
You're being a scene stealer just like Steve McQueen. Stop it.
That's an insult.
It was meant to be. Anyway, this along, I said how long it runs, and no new starts. Basically, the rest is the same. I did all the feature charts, feature patterns. We do have prizes. I just haven't chosen them yet. They're sitting in my basket. The hashtag is hashtag PHN Out with the Old 2021 on Instagram. The toy along is our last one for this quarter. For this quarter, and it, again,
for
October. Yes, October 1st through December 31st, midnight Eastern Standard Time. And this one has to be toys.
We've been doing a very bad job of doing that ourselves.
Yeah, I've got them sitting in my bags.
I have one partially done bunny looking at me.
I have 3 partially done turtles that can't look at me. And something else. I forget what it is.
My bunny is distressed because he has a head, he has his ears, he has his body, he has his legs. I think he has one arm. And he's just sort of looking at me, all distressed and sad. He only has his leg warmers in his shoes. He's naked otherwise.
Oh.
And he just looks so sad propped against my lamp. And then there's my black bunny who's just waiting for her dress.
Yeah.
At least she's fully made. He doesn't even bother talking to her. He's kind of just annoyed at her.
Anyway, it's not her fault. Where was I? Okay, these are all toys, okay? The featured patterns and yarns are basically the same. My yarns, Laura Concert's yarns. My yarn is Lady Furnico Creations, for those of you who are new. Laura Concert's is Lollipop Girl Yarns. Laura's toy patterns, Talia's toy patterns, Franciscan Gypsy Designs. Chronically Crocheting's toy patterns, she has 2 of them. One is a unicorn and one's a kitty cat. Mr. Purrs-a-Lot. And then Bakery Bears. And Mom Cook toys, so she's Loomknit. And Joanna Johnson toys, okay? So those are all featured patterns of featured yarns.
That's the other thing that's kind of like just sitting there is my platypus, or rather your platypus.
Along with my pony.
Well, yeah, your pony is huge.
Is it? It's not as big as Cinna.
It's the same design, though.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
And
have
that's a big design.
Mm-hmm, it is.
That's a lot of single crochet.
Where was I? Okay, so basically these are, we have prizes. Again, I haven't really picked them out yet, but we do have them. And the same, featured, the multiple postings are the same. So, like I said, just go to the threads and you can read this, okay, so rather than me just going over it, repeating it. The hashtag is PHNToy2021 for this. Okay? And like I said, the alongs that you have to get ready for next year would be the PHNT and Tails and Ready, Set, Go. I think that's all of them, isn't it?
Think so.
I don't know. I have to check. I think that's Ready, Set, Go. Yeah, I think that's it.
Because we're doing out with the old right now.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it. I think the only reason we had 3 last year was because we were doing it out with the old. Yeah. Okay. So those are the ones you might want to be thinking about. What you want to make, tea and tail related, or the new things that you want to put on. Well, it's always fun to get, if you get lots of yarn and goodness for Christmas or whatever.
Right. An excuse to start new projects.
This is mellowing out very nicely now.
Yeah, so you just know that that's a tea that you prep it and then you let it sit for a while before you start drinking it.
I'll put it on the side here. Let it sit. Let sit before drinking.
Because I don't think it has anything to do with the steeping temperature for that. I think it just is something that needs to settle.
For me especially, if I have a black tea that steeps too high temperature, the bitterness really bothers me.
Well, I mean, I don't think steeping it lower...
Oh, no.
Would change this. I think it just needs to sit.
I don't think the flavors would come out enough.
I agree with you there.
Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, so let me pull up my show notes.
I don't think we have to do any twice.
No, because I just have one more than you. The drive of Google. Okay. So first things first. Ah, yes, it's the one I'm working on. In my Silver Shed USA Kitties in the News bag is my Anne sweater. Well, it's Lake of Shining Waters Anne sweater from the Green Gables Knits by Joanna Johnson. I'm working it in Knit Picks. It's a baby alpaca. It's
not Woolly Andes, is it?
Hang on. Indian Treasure. And the colorway Sapphire Heather. And I successfully waffled enough to get to the end of my round, which is what I was trying to do. So stick my
Is that what's going on there?
So you get to pick the news story again. You can turn around and look at each side.
Let's do this one.
Okay. So, today's story is Cat's Eye View. It's an editorial by Martin Kuhn. It's about time someone let the cat out of the bag. We are not toys to be toted around with your lipstick and car keys. These bags are darned uncomfortable. Although we admit to looking cute tucked amid your other personal effects, we insist on enough room to swing a cat. And that's that. So here is a very agitated cat.
Well, if he's a Maine Coon, he's going to be a big cat. That's going to be some tote. It's got to be a tote bag, not a...
It almost looks like a grocery bag.
Yeah.
But let me put my ball of yarn back in here. Now that I've added it to my project. So, this didn't get a lot of work done on it this week, but did get work done. This is a sweater that I told you about. We're looking at it from the back of the sweater, but
very nice.
You are looking at the knit stitches like you should be.
Very nice.
So,
but I like the other side.
Well, no one's going to see the other side.
But I like the other side. I think she's turned inside out.
So, I still have quite a bit to go on the ribbing.
What's it called? Reverse stockinette?
Yes. I have a sweater in reverse stockinette.
I don't know why you do reverse stockinette. Why don't you just turn it around, inside out?
I did have, I think, not Jane Austen, sorry, Jane Richmond has one of her patterns where she just says, now you turn it inside out.
I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, why would
they just call it reverse stockinette. You're just knitting stockinette. The only reason it might make a difference is if you're then adding something onto it.
I don't know why you just added the other side.
It might affect the seam.
I guess.
You don't necessarily want your seam on the... So yeah, your turn.
Okay, I'm working on the project I'm going to show you, just trying to find where I'm at here. This is the Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch Blanket knitting pattern by 5410 Studios. And this is, I'm using my, this is the bag, it's a Knitter's Magic. Very soft bag. Knitter's Magic is our local yarn store. It's about 40 minutes down the road. And the yarn is my Bare Necessities yarn. And you're looking at the back here. This is the front. Is that our doorbell?
It didn't sound like a doorbell.
I don't know.
Our doorbell's loud anyway.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like right now. I think I did maybe a couple rows. I didn't really work much on knitting things. I think most of I've been knitting the past few podcasts have been on podcasts.
Well, we had Thanksgiving too. I mean, so we had guests. And
yeah, that's true. We had guests.
You had a lot of cooking, so it wasn't like you had a ton of free time.
And when I could sit down, I fell asleep, kind of. I tried to watch shows with Daddy, and I'd fall asleep.
Did you kind of fall asleep, or did you fall asleep?
Both. I had one where I was kept dozing in and out. I mean, I know I'm tired when I'm watching something I want to watch. It's a noir or a mystery or Perry Mason, and I can't stay awake to figure out what the ending is. I just keep dozing in and out.
I had something happen yesterday where it convinced me I needed to go back and rest again. I was knitting some color work, and then I do a face plant on my desk, and I wake up, I'm like, oh, I guess that means I should go rest again.
Yeah.
I knew I was a little tired, but I didn't think I was tired enough to, it was like, oh, down.
Yeah. Well, it happens, you know. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about this because it's pretty self-explanatory. I decided I wanted to do something that has kind of a classic feel to it, so I left it in my Bare Necessities rather than making it in a color. I might do it in a color later on, but, you know, not this one.
Well, sometimes it's nice to have something that's a bare color. It can bring out the pattern nicely.
Yes, it does. And it's a pretty pattern. You know, it really is a pretty pattern.
The mother is probably going to be like, how am I going to keep this clean?
Yeah. Well, it's a baby blanket. I mean, it's super wash. You can wash it, but, you know.
Most baby blankets tend to be a light color anyway.
Yeah, yellows and
none of them
greens
are
and pinks.
awesome for keeping clean. Okay.
Well, you really don't expect... I mean, you look at things that people keep for their babies, and inevitably they have a little spit or something,
Right,
you
right.
know, when they kind of spit up or whatever.
Well, that's where something like the not the spinning. I'm just thinking in general, like all the little things that everyone keeps. I was just thinking that's where quilting is nice. You know, it has nothing to do with the spit that you just mentioned, but just you have all these the pieces in one place.
Right.
I have a great fondness for the idea of quilts, even though no interest in actually quilting myself.
I keep deluding myself someday that I'll sew or quilt, and I think I've finally given it up, you know, at X amount of years older than dirt years, that I'm not going to do that. So,
Well, quilting, even more than sewing, involves getting so much stuff.
well, also you have to really get the measurements right, and I really I don't have that knack for, you know, cutting straight or making it the right size. I probably could force myself. My hands right now already don't like doing certain things. They'll seize up on me. So
Yeah.
if I try to, you know, really force something, I'm likely to just make my hands seize up.
Right.
So I don't really feel like doing that. But yeah,
Nope,
this is
no, you don't.
no, I don't. Yes, it was a reference, and it's a very timely reference as a recipe.
Okay, so next is, and this is the one I did the face plant on. Okay, so this is in 2 bags actually. So everything is in the Christina Tudor bag, obviously Tudor bag, and then this holds like the pattern and the extra yarn. Then in my Silver Shed USA Oops Tangled in Yarn bag, Oops the Bunny.
Oops is a bunny. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this over my blanket. Let's see.
And the artwork was done by Davina.
Definitely tastes better colder when it sits.
I wonder if it'd be good as... No, I don't think it'd be good
No,
iced.
not as an iced tea. I think it's one of those few teas. I generally like things hot or cold.
But not this one.
Not this one. This has to be settled.
So this project is Loving Bunnies Socks. The pattern is Alice's Easter Bunny Socks. This was a pattern I saw on on Instagram, and I immediately went to the lady's shop and picked up the pattern. She actually has some really pretty colorwork socks. So this got actually quite a bit of work done yesterday because I hadn't worked colorwork in a while, so
Right.
I was on a tear for it.
That's really pretty. I saw that on your Adagio picture.
Yeah, it was a great way to end the month. I mean, it's going to need to be blocked out because there's a little bit of, you can tell where I was a little bit tight on the turn when I was doing my magic looping. I should have just been loose. I'm always tempted to go too tight. And
What do you mean too tight? How?
you see there's this bump here. It'll block out.
Right.
But it just means that the fabric got pulled a little tight in this section. It's not going to make it necessarily too tight on your foot. It just means that it looks great flat, but you have like this little ripple here.
Oh, right.
That's fine. It'll block out.
The old magic blocking, right?
So heel has been done. I'm about to start the leg again. So I also have to decide. They have you add the tail after the fact. I have to see what I have in my stash.
What do you mean add the tail?
You like sew a little like a duplicate stitch type thing on top.
Okay, I was wondering if they're going to have like pom-poms or something. That would be
No,
weird.
it won't be pom poms like stitched on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I really have always loved you. You add hearts and bunnies, and it has my name on it. So, it's very cute. She did it originally like with blue where the red is, and I think she had tan where the white is, something like
I
that.
think blue and silver would have been pretty.
I was really surprised that she didn't have red, to be quite honest with you.
For the hearts.
Yeah. But I guess...
Maybe it's a little broken-hearted bunny.
Well, I have some purple sparkle, too, that if I decide to knit another pair, I'll do the purple where the red is. And that would be really pretty, too.
I like blue. Blue works well.
Well, I have the blue that I would have that would be nice. I'm also currently knitting a pair of socks out of blue.
Right.
And I have a blue set aside for a different pair of socks as well. But the deep blue that I have, I'm saving for like a fingering weight sweater because I have a sweater's worth of it.
What yarn is that?
It's some wild hair.
You have
I picked it up the one time we stopped by her shop, her storage area in town, and she had a sweater's worth of this blue, and I had disposable income at that point, so I just snagged it. Yeah, it's been sitting in my stash for a while. Initially, I planned to do a steeked sweater with it, but that plan has decided not to happen anymore.
At all?
I'm going to do something else with it. I'm not currently in the mood to bother with steeking. And I don't know if I'll get to the point where I really want to. Not when I can make so many other projects without cutting my project.
Well, maybe you shouldn't start with something as big as a sweater.
You know that's not going to happen.
I don't know. It might happen.
I never do things in...
The smart way?
I don't do it in increments because it's like the way music was when I attempted to learn it. I want to do the other thing now. I don't want to wait.
You have to walk before you can run.
Nope. We've proven with knitting I can run first.
No, you haven't really.
Yeah, I started with sweaters right off.
Yeah, but that's not any kind of proof whatsoever. Okay, let's see here. My next one is in my Ploverbird pink and purple teacups bag. And this is the Comfy Cozy Shawl from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. And this is using, this is mine. I have another one that I'm doing for Talia. But it's
Mine.
She might not get it. She continues to be a brat.
That was actually a quote.
Mine.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember which show it was. I want to say it's Nemo or something like that.
I think this is all Miss Babs, except maybe one of the greens might be a Malabrigo. I can't remember. But anyway, it's basically Miss Babs. And I really like the drape of this and the fact that it's going to be larger than the other one I have. I may give the other one away if somebody wants it because it's as much as I like the colors, I might have to do another one in blue because
it's a little heavier than she'd like.
It's a little heavier than I like. But it might be really good for someone who, A, is a little smaller than I am, because...
well, then you might be in trouble.
Well, I mean height-wise, because it's not small. It's just I really like a large shawl. Yeah. If she'd like it. But I
right size, though.
Huh?
Right size, though.
Yeah, she might not get a choice.
Exactly, that's what I think.
But yeah, so this is one of my favorite patterns. As those of you who have followed us for any length of time know that I have this one and the Surabel on multiple. I have multiple hooks and just it's my comfort. I just go and this one is more like when I don't have to worry about doing multiple stitches in one stitch, so I can just maybe get a little more.
But doesn't
done.
have multiples at all?
No, it has only where I do the spine.
Oh, okay.
The spines, because this has multiple spines. It has I think 4 or 3 spines. Right, you can see.
I know an eon ago I attempted to do one myself. My hand was hurting at the time. I think it was right after both of us hurt our hands about the time I finished designing Timmy. Timmy injured us.
I was also doing a bobble thing at that point. So I also tried to change my grip to make my stitches tighter, and that was a mistake. I think that's what pushed me over.
Well, that's probably why I recovered quicker than you, though. I wasn't doing all those things. I just, knocked out a couple Timmys one after another.
Yeah, and Timmy's a lot of work.
Timmy's a lot of work. And I was doing a lot of designing at that time, I think.
You were. I know because I tested them. So, but yeah, this is going to be done eventually. I'm not in any real hurry. I would like to have it done for the winter, but we'll see. It's just a really nice shawl to be able to have available.
Right.
I mean, this is the same shawl.
She touched my shawl.
Yes, I did.
Nah.
I made it. Nah. Your turn.
Okay. Finish these last 2 stitches so I don't lose them.
Ungrateful child.
She touched me.
Get over it. Get over yourself.
No.
There's something that said get over it. I forget where it's from. It's some quote.
Well, get over it could be anything.
No, but there's... Oh, no, I know. It was a snap out of it. It was from... it's Cher, I think. I think it was from... what's it called? It's one word. I can't remember. I think it was like a nuclear reactor thing. I forget. Somebody will know what it was.
Cher, like is in the singer Cher?
Yeah, she was an actress too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Is an actress too. I don't know if she's still acting, but
Let's see. Let me find the right bag. Not that bag. Of course, it's sunk to the bottom. Why would it not?
it's happy, happy, joy, joy. Because it makes you
Therapy.
go diving for it.
Let me peek in and make sure it's right. Because I've done so many switching of projects and bags. And I haven't kept up to date on listing it properly. I feel like the alpaca is attacking my nose. Okay.
You always do.
It's not when I wear alpaca. It just seems to be when I'm
you're
knitting with it.
You're agitating it more when you're knitting with it.
Okay, so in my Adelaide.
Madeline Kahn? Did you say Madeline
No,
Kahn?
I almost said Madeline Cottage. I stopped in the middle of cottage.
I think you said
Adelaide
Kahn.
Cottage. This is where she went to get away from
Who went?
Adelaide.
Who's Adelaide?
Adelaide, Adelaide, ever loving Adelaide.
That's from
Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls, yeah. Love that
So
movie.
she went here to get away from him for a while.
Because people don't stay engaged for 17 years. They get married.
Okay, so in Adelaide Cottage bunny bag that Laura Concert gave me. This is the Bullfinch Socks. Anyway, that's a project name. The pattern is Jemima Socks by K.F. Jones. Let me get things a little untangled. I finished the gusset, and I'm just now on the foot.
Whoa! Gee willikers.
You have a loud vibrate.
My goodness. Sorry, guys.
There's probably some sort of reminder.
Probably.
Okay, so
But with that kind of incessant reminder, I better see what it is.
it wasn't incessant, it was just loud.
My point.
Okay, so there it is. I have promised myself that if I get Christmas money, that every Christmas and birthday, if I get some money, I can buy one bird set. So that's the main color and the heels and toes. So that way, eventually, I'll have all the birds because I really like West Yorkshire Spinners bird colors. And when you wear these socks, they itch for like the first couple times, but after that, they just feel really solid on your feet while being breathable. They just feel like they can withstand anything.
I don't like itching on my feet.
It doesn't last very long, and it wasn't like it was itching the entire time I wore them the first time. It might be like a little bit, but after a few washes, absolutely fine.
You should wash them first.
I did wash them first. But that's probably why it was okay the first time, just a little itching. But honestly, the owl socks have been one of my favorite pairs because they just feel so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I look forward to having these. I've always loved this colorway. I've always loved how it works with that heel. This is the Cayenne colorway here. This is from the Spice collection. And this, like I said, this is Bullfinch.
Very nice.
I think I've decided either on Peacock or I think the other one was Kingfisher. I really want Kingfisher, but it all depends if I can get the heels heels and toes I want for Kingfisher. I know currently they're out of Peacock. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not picking anything up yet, so I can just kind of keep on what
Well, you
eye what
shouldn't
they
pick
had.
up anything.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. It's one of those things that I just kind of keep an eye on what they have available. Because I know I only can have it certain times a year, which will make it specialer.
Mm-hmm. Specialer?
Yes.
Did you just say specialer?
Yes.
That is not a word.
I am doubling down on it. Specialer.
That is not a word.
It's a specialist.
Specialist is a word, but not that
Not the
kind
way
of
it's being
specialist.
used.
Nope. It is a word, though.
It is
it's
a
not
word.
that word.
But yes.
When you know the rules, you can break them. Or bend them.
Yes.
Contort them. Let me see where my
Magic loopy thing is getting all tangled. I'll worry about it later when I knit on this again. So yeah. Enjoy this sock. These are good socks. Like they're colorful, but they give the feel of like they're still I don't know, they kind of feel classy. like you know what it feels like? It feels like someone country. They feel very countrified. Like someone might have these colors in their socks on their feet while they're going and checking on the pigs or something. Or
That's
the sheep.
classy?
Not classic, I think I'm thinking of.
Okay.
You know, I just feel like this might...
Pigs and classy don't really go together.
Pigs are clean.
Except when they're wallowing in the mud.
Yeah, but that's only because they're hot.
That's still not clean. But they are supposed to be pretty clean animals.
That's what I understand. Apparently they're pretty good guard animals.
They're supposed to be very intelligent.
That's what I understand. They're actually kind of cute.
When they're small. I don't like the hogs. I like
I like the little pigs.
Yeah. Excuse me, I apologize.
Is my alpaca attacking you
I don't
too?
know. It's allergies, I think. Let me get a drink here.
The one alpaca that really attacks, your alpaca for your owl attacks my face. Like the owl sweater. I haven't worked on it in a while because I need to finish other sweaters first.
Right.
I've got a hierarchy of sweaterdom.
Okay, in my Knit for Brains Teapots bag. Thank you, Laura Concert. She gave me this. Isn't it beautiful? Love it, love it. It's got an owl. It's an owl teapot bag. See it right there? Owl. Teapot.
There's like 2 owl teapots on there.
Owl
it's like
teapot
a majority of other teapots.
Owl teapot bag. Okay, in here is my Arwen's Hooded Cowl from the Thorin Hooded Cowl pattern by, I know I have this somewhere.
It's in the back of the pattern.
Yeah, let me see here. It's not F. Nor. That's the lady who did the picture and the sample here. This is...
Back of the pattern.
I have to find it first.
And farther back.
I don't know if I have the last page. Oh, I guess this is the last page.
Yeah, there you go.
Stargirl. Stargrrl. Stargrrl. Summer Star. Summer Star. So yeah, I'm doing...
That's gotta be an alias. I can't imagine anyone's name actually is Summer Star. It sounds like a stage name.
I'm doing variation 2, and I'm about halfway through it. You can see my little markings there. And I'm using Miss Babs. Yeah, I think my Midnight Clear's just a little darker than this. But this is moving along very well. I am creative in my mistakes, but no one's going to see the mistakes.
Okay.
Because it's going to be folded over. So, yeah, this is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's very meditative. I just have to be careful of my tension and not to split the stitches. Otherwise, it's, not a problem.
It's not a problem?
Not a problem.
Not at all?
Not at all.
All right, let me just tighten this. I was wondering why the tension was weird, but because this is where I added the yarn last time. Okay.
All right.
So.
Yeah, sometimes I have to pull a little tighter when I do that.
I know it'll even out the way it's supposed to once I've been knitting on it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you're the first couple rows ahead of it, I was just like, man, what did I do? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's all. Pulling that again. Let me pull my tails out so I can see them better.
I want to start that. I picked it up. It's a mosaic shawl, but I think I'm going to have to make the yarn for it, so I have to buy yarn because it's a big stole kind of thing. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, at least the stoles shouldn't have any shaping, so you could just focus on the mosaic.
Well, the good thing about it is that she doesn't expect me to figure out the repeats. She actually just writes it out. That's why I picked it up. And then when I learn how to do that, I can then go to the other ones that...
You still haven't knit any of my mosaic dishcloths I designed for you.
I'm knitting your blanket.
Yeah, but that's like very simple mosaic.
So what?
I
just don't want to do any squares. Squares. I don't want to do... I haven't finished the little mosaic.
You do realize a blanket can be a square, right?
No, don't tell me that, or I won't do any more blankets.
Really? That's the kind of block you have in your head?
I hate blocks. But anyway, my point is, I was going to say something. You interrupted me. I can't remember what it was.
I don't either. I interrupted you.
I'll pop you on.
Is it my turn or is it yours?
No, I just said something. Make me angry.
Make you angry?
Yes. Oh, I know. I have... Yes, it's a reference. But anyway, I'm going to have to dye up my own yarn for that because it's just... There's too much yarn in it. Besides, I want to do something pretty in my own yarn.
Indeed. You don't have enough in your own yarn. I think I've worked in your yarn much more than you have.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think
next,
Patty's got you tied for that. She's got a lot of...
well, she might actually have me beat.
Yeah, she does a lot of the cozy up knit tests.
Because I think she knits faster than I do. Mm-hmm. Now, I think part of that is that I have zero self-control and I, start 20 million projects.
So does she.
Then she's a faster knitter than me then.
Well, I think that she has focus, but, she just... Yes, Patty, we're talking about you.
Okay, so next
ears are burning.
Is
Patty is Wombat of Doom.
In my Silver Shade USA old books bag.
Does it smell like old books?
In my head it does.
I love old book smell. Makes me sneeze, but I love old book smell.
You sneeze at old book smell?
Well, and when there's dust accompanying it. Like
sometimes. And an old book, like a library, the perfect library. It looks like Belle's library, or it kind of has that oldie kind of feel where there's a lot of nooks and crannies. There's window seats.
Yep.
And there's a cat. But not any cat. It's a friendly cat. Like the one that was in our bookstore for so long.
Yep.
Where she comes and she sits on your lap or sits by you while you're reading.
And you could have a cup of tea on the table beside
you. And you can have a cup of tea and there's a roaring fire. And you probably have some sort of scones or something next to you. And if there is music, it's very soft, ambient that you can barely notice.
Yeah. And the lighting is just enough to read by.
Right. It's kind of that, it's not super bright. It's kind of dim. It's moody.
You know what comes really close to that is the place in Boston, the library in Boston. When we went for your thing, and Dad and I went before, it's got that kind of mood in certain areas. But, I'm thinking about, those little lamps. Some of them have colored shades.
Yeah.
Or they have I had something like this, but different.
And it's never going to be, super crowded, this library, this book area. It's a personal library, so it's not like there's a librarian hushing you every 5 seconds. And it's just everyone can sit in their little area. No one, you're in your own world while you're there.
If you choose to be.
If you choose to be.
And if you want to talk, there's a little place off.
Yes, and there's enough cats for everyone to have a cat.
But
they're all friendly.
And they don't make you sneeze.
And they don't make you sneeze. And they all are just there to provide the ambience. They might nose you a little bit and lick you every once in a while.
They sit on your book.
He might just rest his little head on your book every once in a while if he doesn't get enough attention.
There must be saucers of
milk.
Or
put his little paw. I love cat paws. They're so, dainty. And to put a little cat paw on your book, and then you'll pet him and then go back to your reading.
And there is a bird in there, but it's up where the cats can't get
it. And the cats don't bother it.
Cats don't bother it.
Dogs are too active.
Yeah, unless it's one of those, who knew? The droopy-haired dog was ugh.
I don't really picture a dog in a library. In a guy's library, a man's, that's a different feel. For that kind of library, you have that big overstuffed, chair, and you, again, have a roaring fire, but it has a different feel than this, ours. And then you might have a dog on the rug, but he is kind of a droopy dog. Okay, anywho.
And it smells good. And if there's dust in the books, then I sneeze.
Yes.
But see, it's a patina. You never dust.
No.
Can't dust.
And there's enough cats that their tails kind of do the dusting for you every time they walk. So, bonus.
Yeah. Poor little tongues. And they clean themselves. And it never, ever smells like kitty litter.
Nope. They're very clean cats.
He's very clean. Do you remember? It's from Hard Day's Night.
Oh, that's why I don't remember. Because I've watched it once.
I have no clue. They had to explain what that meant. He's very clean. What the heck does that mean? He takes a bath? What? But it meant something.
Don't try to make sense out of the Beatles movies. They were all on drugs.
But no, they didn't. They weren't as bad as the Monkees. And that was an early one. They weren't on. I mean, they might have been on something.
I think they were pretty much all. As soon as we got.
No. Because they said they got their start later on. They had alcohol, and maybe they had some marijuana or something, but I don't think they had drug, the hard
drugs. Stuff.
Yeah, because they were talking about how they got started. It was kind of, bad.
It probably was one of those parties all the other.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is my sushi house sock. Only one right now. This will be only one sock. This is the Dance All Night socks. This will be the last one I work in a non-superwash because currently every single non-superwash pair of socks that I have, I've had to darn the bottoms. So I'm not going to do non-superwash socks anymore. Not non-superwash. They're all non-nylon.
I found my supplier that has the DK with nylon in it.
Oh, sweet. And I don't know why it took so long to register. This sock was designed in Knit Picks Chroma. And the reason they did is because it has nylon in it. So at some point I'll go through all the chroma colors and knit socks out of these. I think that would be super comfy too. But yeah, I
It has
know
some fun colors. That's chroma right there.
Yeah, exactly. I know that at some point I will have to darn the bottom. Darn the bottom of it. But that's okay. I knew that ahead of time. I do have, a darning book that I want to get eventually. That because it's a useful tool.
It's a useful skill.
Useful skill anyway. And I'm sure even the nylon socks eventually wear.
Oh yeah, everything wears eventually.
But let's put it this way: I finished the Macintosh socks this year. I've already put a hole in it, so I'm just waiting for
The purple ones?
Yep.
Oh gee.
So I have to darn those.
The ones that don't match.
Yeah, the ones that don't quite match. So yes, I have to darn those. That's why I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do any more after the 2 socks that I have without nylon in it, because I just go through, put holes in things too quickly.
Well, I have a whole bunch of nylon sport weight, so she can.
Which
use
is awesome, because I found a designer that I already have a bunch of socks for her, and all of her designs are in sport, and she has some gorgeous designs. And you'll see one of her designs later on, because I had startosis.
Just
Your turn.
just give me a second here.
Most of my projects you're going to see this time are socks, because after I put holes in my Macintosh, I realized I really do need to pick up the pace on my nylon socks, so I don't, because I have a couple of socks that don't have nylons I haven't yet managed to put holes in yet, so I really need to pick up the pace. So when I put holes in those,
Pick up the pace.
I have socks to wear, because I don't wear non-hand knit socks anymore. My feet like it a lot better.
I have to get more dance all night. 'Cause you gave me a whole bunch of socks, but the ones I wear are the dance all night.
I wonder, well, I can't bring my foot up so people can see. They can see the kind of tip.
Yeah.
This is Heidi's yarn, and I know a couple of her heavier bases have nylon, and I wonder if this one does, because it's holding up really well, because I've had this one for years, and I was wearing this in shoes previously, so I wonder if this actually does have nylon in it.
It might.
Because I have some yarn of hers that has, so if that's the case, this one might hold up pretty well.
I might look at the base. Laura gave me the autism awareness, the last one Heidi did. I was unable to get it or whatever. And Laura gave me one, and I want to see what the weight is, because maybe you could make me socks with it, or you can.
Well, one of her sports that she had for a while had nylon in it, because I have one of them in my area to put into some socks.
Right.
Because I went through my stash and found all my sport weight yarns that have nylon in it. Now, some of them are only one skein, so they'll have to be like shorty socks.
Right.
Or I actually have a scrap sock pattern.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. How many scraps? I mean,
I had to look at it, because, and they give you the amount so you can match them up for both socks.
okay. Do you think if you had 5 20-gram skeins or 4 20-gram skeins?
I'd have to look at it.
Well,
I know that Kay also has a scrap sock pattern.
4 20-gram skeins would be 400 some odd yards if it's fingering weight. Mm-hmm. If it's DK, it would be like 240.
Well, this was the pattern I'm thinking of as sport weight.
That would be 270.
Yeah, K tends toward DK. But right now, if I don't have a DK with nylon, I'm not going to do it in socks, because I especially don't want to have to darn socks that are scrappy.
Right. Oh, that would be a pain in my neck.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So,
okay, I've waffled enough. Let me just put my thing on here. I started the new round, and I wanted to get fairly
into
it so that if it came off, I wouldn't lose my stitches. Okay.
Although it's in the round, it doesn't.
Well,
make
no,
a
but you know what I
difference.
mean. I just wanted to. I don't want to run the risk of losing the
Marker?
Marker.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me put this here.
The only time it makes a difference, though, is if you're doing like I am, where you're magic looping.
Right.
where it might come off the needle.
Right. Let me just put this in here. This is the cowl, right? Let me see.
I'm doing I actually think every single one of my projects I'm showing right now is magic looped.
I had to look at what you made for me to do. I have it still in my email, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. So I'm going to take that out because I think that will open things up for me a lot.
Well, I'm glad that you have that because I haven't done tutorial videos in a while because especially this year I've had a lot more, I've had more pain back here. So I haven't wanted to put my GoPro on my head.
All right. My next one is in my Silver Shed USA green Star Wars bag. And this is my Mad Hatter cowl, which is, you can all tell me what pattern this is, by Sarah Sweethearts. This is the Cerebell scarf pattern.
It's a shame that we don't have the We're All Crazy tee here now.
Yeah.
It was they had an Alice in Wonderland themed tee.
Oh, did they?
I
That's right, they did. I remember seeing that.
I can't remember if that was yesterday or the day. No, it wasn't yesterday because yesterday was a tea that I had to pick up some of. It was a couple days ago.
So this is, I did a little bit of this. I think I did some of this when I was at the hair place. Was that last week?
It wasn't last week.
I don't know. Maybe I already. So you can see it's not going a whole.
Actually, for you it was last week.
Right. So I actually didn't do a whole lot of things when I was there because.
Is it hard to while your hair's being dyed?
No, not when she's letting it set. But I don't know if I just did a few and then I got tired or I just kind of focused on one project. I don't remember exactly what I worked on. I know I worked on something. I don't remember what it was.
Because I think you were working on either your shawl or mine at my appointment.
I didn't have much time at your appointment because you weren't there very long. But I keep telling my husband I'm going to cut my hair because it's drying out too fast and he gets mad at me. So
can you use a different conditioner? Would that help?
No, I was talking to Crystal and she was saying that, as you age, the hair just dries out at the ends faster. Because I don't know if you can tell.
Well, maybe that's why a lot of older women wear their hair short.
Shorter, yeah. I don't know if you guys can tell how much shorter my hair actually is right now. I think she also layered it a little more. So you can see here, before I got it cut, it was, down here. Well, not quite there, but it was about maybe 3 or 4 inches longer. So she cut off the dry and the split ends and stuff like that. And I love my hair long. It's just that it's getting to the point where sometimes it's just too much to deal with.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's super convenient to have it short. Like, I can just roll out, do a quick brush, or even just, depending on how it looks when I get up, just run my fingers through it and there I go.
Right.
And with your curls, it probably looks super cute.
I still rebel.
Because of your experience.
Part of me still rebels.
Also, it would probably hug closer to your head than mine does too, because you have the tighter curls.
Although I've lost.
But if you cut it, it'll. Because I've noticed that when I cut my hair, I have a little bit more curl to it.
Right.
And I think that you might notice that now. I don't think I'm quite as curly as I used to be. I think I lost some of that with the medicine. Because I used to be curlier, I think.
Not really.
No?
Maybe a little bit. Well, it's hard to tell because you said you need to wash your hair. But not that you. I'm just saying that when you don't, even one day in between, sometimes it makes it a little heavier.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think it's a little less curly with the age and the length, but it's still pretty curly.
I only seem to get the curl. I get the curl most frequently when it's inconvenient. Like, I'll get one sticking up like this, and I won't want to stay down.
Well, somebody was mentioning that I was looking for curly styles just in case I wanted to change the style. And they were saying, well, if you're blessed enough to have natural curls, which sometimes just do exactly what they want.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter how much you wet it, how much you gel it. It's just like...
I'm going here.
I used to get horns on each side. It was just like, well, that's the way apparently it's going to be because it's not going to do anything else.
Because they all know what your personality is.
Apparently.
Yeah. But anyway, this is Miss Babs in the Mad Hatter colorway, hence the very original name of the Mad Hatter scarf.
I do the exact same thing.
I've had this skein for like eons, and I just decided...
No, that's the skein I gave you.
But I think I had one and gave it to you.
No, that was one I purchased.
Is this one you purchased?
Yeah. You gave it to me, and... I gave it to you, and you gave me the red that I used for my Thorns cowl.
I know you made me socks. Did you make me socks out of this?
I did make you socks. I think it was Mad Hatter, or something very similar.
I know you made me something out of funny papers. I'm pretty sure you did, out of funny papers.
Maybe it was funny papers that made the other one.
No, you made me something out of here, but you made me...
I made you a couple pairs of those socks. So you might have Funny Papers and this one.
Funny Papers is the ones I've been wearing.
Okay.
So this must be the other one.
Now, I think the other reason why your socks don't wear down as quickly is I think because I wear my socks right against my feet because they are actually my socks, and you wear them layered. Yours don't pill as much. You know, the natural sweat and oils from your feet.
Well, I won't wear them when I get on the machine or work out because it doesn't matter if I have it on another pair of socks.
Right.
It's going to get, that kind of stuff.
So I think that's why I've been noticing my socks wearing more quickly. Is that I do wear them right against my feet.
And just a heads up, if you guys want to get things from Miss Babs, you might want to get it before like the first of the year because the prices are going to go up again. Apparently the suppliers and all that. And if this proves to be true across the board, I may float a question for you guys regarding
Free shipping
or upping the prices. So we'll just see how that goes. But right now I have no plans to do any changes.
Well, I know I've had to change some of my suppliers for beads and stuff because it's easier to get supplies closer.
Right.
That being said, I also picked up a supplier from France, so go figure.
Yeah, and we'll just we'll keep you posted on price fluctuations and why we might have to do it or not do it. And I would I have to keep in mind all my base, but you guys are a good microcosm of what people.
Well, you
want.
also that's the only base that you have that you can pull. It's
Right.
not like you can go on Etsy and put up a pole. I don't think they have that capacity.
I don't think they do. No.
So yes.
So okay, so that's it for that.
Next, it's my turn because you were just a Mad Hatter.
That's what I said.
Mad Hatter. So next is my other non-nylon socks because I'm brilliant.
Brilliant.
So
that's a commercial. Brilliant.
It is. I think it's been. Well, granted, I don't watch TV, but I think it's been a while since they've done that one.
Yeah, that was
that Guinness?
I don't remember. I used to come on during football games, so it might have been.
I feel like it was a Guinness. Guinness always had great commercials.
Well, football had good commercials until
they
recently.
did for a while.
Yeah. The ones with Betty White.
You're not yourself when you're hungry. Have Snickers.
Yeah. But I don't get the commercial that comes on YouTube. The one with the ostrich.
I haven't seen it.
What? I don't understand why this guy is running around with an ostrich selling insurance.
Oh, I have seen that one.
Allstate or whatever it is.
Allstate. Yeah, he has a couple. It's the same guy. He has a couple things where he's just so obsessed with it, like insurance. He brings it up in at camp out.
Yeah.
He was with the ostrich at one point.
He's with the ostrich all the time.
He walked into his office and it was a mess at one point. I don't know if the ostrich did it. Anyway,
I just don't understand what the ostrich has to do with anything.
So, Kickaboo bags. What did the duck have to do with Aflac?
Well, at least it's like Aflac sounds like a quack,
Yeah.
I get that better.
In my Kickaboo bags, ugly green
It's not ugly. It just isn't as pretty. It is the one that makes the other bags shine.
Puce? Is this what puce?
It makes the other bags shine.
It sounds like puce would be. I don't know what color puce is, but the sound.
I think it's pink.
Oh, okay. Because puce doesn't sound like it'd be pink. Puce sounds like it'd be like this color.
I think puce
because it's an ugly sounding word.
I don't know why I think it's a pink.
All I remember about hearing puce is it got brought up in that Christmas movie with what's his face from Third Rock from the Sun is the bad guy, and with Martin Short as the elf.
Martin Short was an elf?
Not Martin Short. What's it? I thought it was Martin Short. Yeah, it was the one with the kid, where from like New York. And Patch, the one Patch.
Oh, Patch. Okay.
Was that Martin Short?
No,
Who's that?
That's Dudley Moore.
Dudley Moore. I don't know why I mixed them up.
Yeah, I don't either. They're nothing.
Probably
alike.
because I knew Davina liked them both at one point, at different times. So, where did this come from?
Okay, I was right. See?
Oh, it is pink, huh? So maybe
that's puce. Can
the
you
helper.
See? It looks almost like a dusty rose.
Yeah, maybe the bad guy's assistant did get what he wanted because they did end up about that color, the candy canes. Because he suggested puce, and they all kind of looked at him like he was stupid. Anyway,
and that is your color lesson for today.
So in this bag is my Fetching the Sun project. The pattern is the Caradra socks by Claire Ellen.
I don't think they would a person would want to buy a skein of yarn, even if it's as pretty as that was. And you
Right,
call it
because puce just sounds like it'd be an ugly color.
yes.
And it's so pretty, which is a shame. Like, why would you?
What is it? We rhapsodize.
So this can also be done in a fingering weight.
That's pretty. Which one is that type?
This is Claire Ellen's Caradras socks.
Caradras, yeah.
It's my first Claire Ellen pattern. I have a ton of her patterns that are themed that are Lord of the Rings, Hobbit themed.
And for those of you who are getting ready for tea and tails,
Yes, Claire Ellen has a ton of gorgeous socks. Most of them are cabled. I think even the Gollum socks are pretty.
yeah, they are.
Have you seen the Gollum ones?
I did see them, but I don't remember them. I just remember liking almost all of her socks. I love Aragorn's.
Aragorn's are really nice, and I have yarn already set aside for Aragorn's. Gandalf is a little bit simpler, and I have some grain yarn set aside for Gandalf.
What's Sam?
Sam is very similar to Frodo's.
I don't remember what Frodo's is.
They kind of have like linked rings
Right.
on them, but Sam's is a little bit more simple than Frodo's,
Well, yeah.
which fits him.
I like Sam.
And then like Eowyn and Eomer have kind of chunky socks.
Soldiers.
Well, they're very much. I think that Tolkien said he kind of based them on like a Viking type feeling, and you do get that they're warriors, and that's what they appreciate. Now, this is actually one of the simpler heels. She's had like patterns going all the way down to the heel, and then stopping there because you don't want to be stepping on the pattern.
Right.
Like Aragorn's look like a pair of boots.
I like Aragorn's. They're so pretty.
Well, yeah, I think those are the next Claire Allen ones I'm gonna do.
Does she have
That
one?
or a Gandalf.
Does she have one for Strider as well, or is it just Aragorn?
I think it's actually called Strider.
Oh, it is called Strider. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I have to
Okay.
take a look. And I have
Because I get a
Faramir's as well.
completely. Oh, I like Faramir. I have a completely different feel for something if you're saying it's Strider
Versus
as opposed to Aragorn.
Yeah.
Because yes, we're nerds.
Well, I know for a long time in the books, once he started stepping more into his king role as a teenager, I just kind of didn't like him as much because Aragorn felt so different from Strider.
Strider's just cool.
I think now that I'm older, I can see the transition a little bit more. It's just that Aragorn was kind of keeping himself, he wasn't in a position to really have his authority and stuff.
Right.
There we go.
Okay, let me
Okay, your turn.
My turn. Okay. Put this aside. Okay. In my
Excuse me.
let's see what I do here. Mad Hatter. Okay. My pen decided to be a little bit persnickety.
I hate when that happens.
Okay. In my Silver Shed USA Blue PHN Faces bag. I know the faces aren't blue, but that's what I'm calling it. Anyway.
Yes, no blue faces. On there. We are not cyanotic.
This is
Or
the
cynical.
By Special Request Shawl project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. And this is Talia's. And this one I think is a little bit bigger than mine right now.
I'm also a little bit bigger than you are.
Where's my... I'm always losing my hook. There it is.
Is this one?
I put it in the pocket.
Okay.
Okay.
It's really coming out nicely because I had some concerns about how the different yarns would play together, but I decided to trust your ability to make it all pull together, and it is.
So you can see how pretty this is. I'm almost ready, I think. Oh no, I have to finish this gray, and then I'll go back to the blue, and then I'll pull this in.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite large.
Which is nice because the nice thing about this shawl is it's a big hug,
See?
and I always am wearing this shawl. This is my go-to shawl.
Yes, it is.
And
there are multiple skeins in here. There's Marigold Jan, Miss Babs, and Mad Tosh.
Well, between these two shawls, I can always have something that goes with my outfit in the house, and then I use my not so large blankety shawls for when I go out and about. But these are like all I want to wear in the house.
Right. So yeah, this is fun. I love this pattern. This is like 1, 2, 3. This is like my 5th one. including the other one that's on the hook. I've done 5 of them. So it's just something I know that I can make. Like if someone needs it for charity or something, I might be able to make one relatively quickly if my hands cooperate.
Right.
And I know a lot of people don't wear shawls right now, but I love shawls.
Me too.
I don't have... I can shrug them on or take them off.
Well, sometimes... Now, I know I get temperature fluctuations, but sometimes I'm too hot for a sweater. But a shawl lays just right. Because I always wear short sleeves. Usually always wear short sleeves underneath everything. Actually, these scrub tops are super comfortable. They have pockets, and I'm so glad I didn't get rid of them.
Right.
And I could see if I ever was to wear them down, actually going and picking up more.
Right.
Because...
Well, they're comfortable and they're not sweats.
They're comfortable, they're not sweats, and they have pockets.
And there's nothing wrong with sweats. It's just not like... We don't like to necessarily be in them all the time.
Well, my pants might be sweats because sometimes I get cold in my legs. Right. But the shirts, they're perfect.
And there's a difference between like sweats and warm-ups. I would... You might see me in a warm-up suit, but probably not in sweats so much, unless it's really cold.
Scrub pants are just too cold to wear all the time, but the scrub shirts are awesome.
Yeah, I do like the pockets in them.
Oh, yeah, and if you get the right style, I think these are Cherokees.
I miss the cargo pants that used to be really popular.
I used to have cargo pant scrubs.
I miss the cargo pants because then I can just stick a rosary here and a phone here and my keys there, and it all has a pocket that closes.
Right.
I have a pair of the ones I'm wearing now are probably carpenter pants. Where you can hook a hammer or whatever. But I don't need carpenter.
Yeah, cargo pants are awesome.
Cargo pants are awesome. I think a lot of times they were khakis.
I used to have all scrub pants are to some at least the ones I used to pick up. Were some level of cargo pants because they would have pockets on the legs too.
Right.
The problem is they're so lightweight that anything in your pockets, if it's too heavy, pull them down
right
a bit. Just because scrubs just aren't the heaviest material. A lot of times the shirts are heavier than the pants.
Right.
Anywho, you just talked?
Yeah, I just talked about this.
Okay. So now it's me. In my Silver Shed USA Christmas ornaments bag from Brittany. It's supposed to hold Christmas ornaments in it, but I haven't been inspired to design a Christmas ornament right now.
I know what I can send it when I send her the
Yes. That's what I was thinking. So, this is Christmassy. That's a project name. The pattern is The Finish Line by...
Christmassy is what?
The project name.
Okay.
The pattern is Finish Line by Laura Smoot. And it took me way too long to register this.
Pretty.
These are the lanes.
They're what?
The lanes for when they're racing.
Right.
So
tortoise versus hare.
So here's where they line up to race along the ribbing.
Clever.
And then they're racing down these lanes.
That's clever.
So that's what I see it as.
I wish she had... Oh, that would have been great for tortoise versus hare.
Because I just sat there and looked at it. It's like, oh, that's why she called it Finish Line. I mean, this could be actually the finish line.
Right.
I kind of thought of it being where I started, but it could be the finish line.
I guess it depends if you're a toe up or a cuff down.
This pattern only comes cuff down.
Then that's the starting area.
Yeah. So, and I like how it's working up. Because I had originally had it in a different pattern way back when. This yarn has been waiting for a while to be put into socks. It's not going to be done by Christmas. I'm too distracted.
It's very nice.
But it'll be done by some Christmas.
Christmas somewhere?
Yeah. It's the closest to being a pair of socks that it's been in a while.
Very nice.
I think I have a couple of inches before I can start the heel flap. Because I aim for a 6-inch leg. Too much longer can be a little bit odd. Sometimes too much shorter can be not quite as comfy.
Right.
6 inches is a nice medium.
I think that's what you do for mine as well.
Yeah, except for the dance all nights.
Well, no, that's different.
Dance all nights are about 9 inches.
Well, they slouch.
Yeah, they slouch.
So you don't want it to be too short when they slouch.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I have to measure these, but I'm pretty sure I'm still a couple inches away. I have a bunch of socks that are like right about the same area on the first sock.
I need to finish the toys I've got that are almost done.
Well, my bunny agrees with you that there needs to be toys worked on. He's looking pathetically because he got paused because I was running out of yarn. Right. And then I got his yarn in, And at that point, I was done with my burst of wanting to work all the bunny toys.
Right.
So now he's looking at me depressed. And every time
Aw.
I sit down on my desk, he just sort of looks at me forlornly.
Aw.
And he's like, I'm not only half made, I'm also naked. Except for my
cold.
leg warmers.
I'm cold.
He's cold. Well, his legs aren't.
Right.
His legs and his feet aren't. He has his leg warmers and his shoes. His shoelaces are even tied.
You should probably cover him up. Especially since there's a female who's also...
Well, she can't see him where she's at.
But
Yes.
it's a family show.
Well, I
Anyway.
need to... When I finish him, I want to eventually pick up his sister's pattern. It's Bo the Rabbit by Mary Jane Tea Room.
Mary Jane's Tea Room, yeah.
Mary Jane's Tea Room. Her patterns are really cute, but
They are.
also almost cuter are the ones from Knittables. They're meant to be cuddly,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the ones from Mary Jane's Tea Room are more decorative, I feel.
I think they can be both decorative and playing with them, but they maybe not the kind that you go to sleep with.
Yeah, whereas you can go to sleep with. Mary Jane, the ones from Knittables are made to change your clothes.
Right.
I don't feel this quite, even though you can take the clothes off of the ones for Mary Jane's Tea Room, the clothes are, I think, seamed around the toy, whereas I think that it's not the same thing for the Knittables ones, because
Right.
they're made to fit all the different toys.
Well, I would like to... I actually have Knittables, the bear, and I think once I do the magic loop, if I learn to do that, then I think I'll be able to go ahead and do that, because...
Ashley's knit flat, Mom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, all of her, both she and Mary Jane Tea Room are knit flat.
Why did I not start it?
I don't know.
I think I got distracted.
And Knittables has very good instructions. She's very easy to follow.
I think because people are doing it for charity and,
Yeah, I find her very easy to follow.
This is a pain in the neck. Oh, here it is.
You found your end.
Well, the thing is, it's one of those things where you're pulling from one end, and then the center pull comes out, or whatever. It's just... I'll deal
Why
with
is
it.
the tea all gone?
I don't know. Presumably because you drank it, right?
Your turn.
Well, wait a second. I need to find my...
No.
I need to find my...
What are you looking for?
Not my stitch.
I think you were in your stitch.
Okay, here's the stitch.
Oh, you found it. Oh, okay.
But
Never mind.
what
I
is-
fibbed.
But wait a minute. No, what is this?
Did you have it?
I bet it was here. I don't know why I had it here, but sometimes I do this, especially if I have to do... If I am doing crochet two together,
Uh-huh.
I will put this on the third stitch.
Oh, okay.
So I know where that stitch is. So
I was about to say, I have no idea how your mind works, because we work very differently when it comes to even keeping track of where we are in the pattern. We just do it very differently.
My way's better.
Well, I seem to remember you getting lost more often than I do, so, that kind of speaks for
Don't
itself.
think so. I think we should...
How many times have I had to look over your pattern?
I think we should agree to disagree. No, that was only when I lost my place.
Oh, okay. You see, I don't lose my place that often.
Well, I can't help that. You're not special enough.
I'm just saying, my
Special request.
organization method is superior.
I'll let it dream. Okay, is it my turn or yours?
It is your turn, because I just finished Christmas Eve.
Okay, let me get a drink.
Can't get through it without a drink, Johnny.
This this is pretty good at the end. Not 5-star, but
Well, this got really nice at the end, too.
why is the tea gone?
Presumably because you drank it.
Okay, in my okay, this is my B-Wing country bag from Brittany, who's B-Wing. Thank you, Brittany. Love this bag. Makes me happy. Country Roads blanket from the Jelly Roll blanket pattern by K.F. Jones. And in here, I did a little bit of work on this. Not a whole lot, but a little. I think I worked on this at the hairdresser because it was just...
Well, it's an easy one to work on.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about anything. I just keep going. But this is one like you were talking about, having to tighten up where you...
Mm-hmm. Well, I finally reached a place with the sweater now where I've knit far enough along that it's not feeling like it's too loose every time I
Right.
get to that section.
Just kind of there. So you can see that it is growing. I haven't gotten off the blue color yet.
Bigger all the
Oh
time.
gosh. Don't even start. So yeah, I'm going to do this a little bit more with the blue, and then I have to think about changing colors. I have to pick a new color out of my thing because...
Are you thang?
my thing, because I've already used these colors, and I want to do something different. And I may come back to these later for other squares.
Well,
but
if you need... I have a whole, like, container of scraps that I've used for my miter square already. If you want to dig through that to pull things out for that.
I might if I run. I have a whole bunch of skeins pulled out.
But I have, like, ones that are partial skeins.
Right. Well, I might do some of that, but I also, because I trying to use up my skeins. Now, if I find out that maybe I want to use some of those skeins for something else.
Well, that's why I was thinking, is that you don't have to purchase more yarn.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I have a whole container of DK Sport worsted, and underneath that's my fingering.
Right.
Or, I'm sorry, it's the other way around. Fingering's on top of it. And then
Right.
DK.
Well,
because
yeah,
I
lighter
wore
on
the
top of
DK
the
Sport
heavy.
worsted.
You do?
Oh, yeah, because of the blankets. Everyone is giving me minis for that.
Right.
It's only been recently that I've been really making use of my fingering minis.
And this one's fun because it's just, straight, you do what you do, and there's no fancy anything. I stopped doing the other pattern by Kay. I'm not getting rid of it. I just stopped it because the way it ends up on the edges was confusing me. I couldn't remember which one was for which pattern.
Right, they work close. They're similar, but there's enough of a difference that it's confusing.
It was confusing. So I'm going to work on this one, and then when I finish it, I will go back to the other one, and hopefully my gauge won't be too far off. But
you'll be fine.
But yeah, so
It'll all block out.
yeah, and this is just different skeins. I've got Malabrigo, I've got Miss Babs. I don't know what else I have in here. Just a lot of other different things. Some of them I'm not even sure what they are because they're like maybe somebody gave it to me or I won it or something like that. And so it's a one-off kind of thing. But I'm just trying to get through stuff that was just sitting on my shelf and taking up space.
Right.
So, and some of those things end up being prizes and stuff. But right now, I just pulled a bunch of them to see what I could do with. And I'm hoping that I will not have a problem with picking up stitches so I can finish this.
Yes.
Because that would be really nice.
It would be.
So yeah, this is, and I don't know how much longer I'll go. Still gonna be a while yet because
It's a long way.
it's a long ways. So, and I'm not sure yet how big a blanket this is gonna be.
It could also be fun if you went widthways too.
I don't necessarily like it. I want it this way. I think. I think I want it this way this time. Maybe because a lot of times when I crochet, they're this way. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, so the length ways will make it different than the crochet.
Yeah.
I see.
So we'll have to just see if I decide to.
Well, it would. I was going to say decrease the amount of time you just pick up stitches, but no, it doesn't make any difference. It's just differently distributed.
Right. Because you're still going to have to get.
You're still going to
size.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, that's all I have to say really about this one. I like the fact that right now I can keep this in B-Wing's bag. When I get to the point where I need a bigger bag, I might put it into Laura's bag that she made us, and just have Brittany's bag hold a couple of skeins.
Right.
And then go from there. But I'm enjoying this because Kay has a gift for for developing patterns that look fun, that look pretty. Sometimes they look complicated, but they're not.
That's what her socks patterns are.
She just has a gift for that kind of stuff, which is why I love doing her patterns so much. I haven't finished a ton of them, but I finished a few of them. The sock knitter's shawl and the handbrake, and I think maybe
I've actually surprised myself that I've finished more of her sock patterns than I have anything else. And if you told me that a while back, I would have thought that would be weird.
Well, I have her Messalina sitting in the wings.
For your brown yarn, brown sparkle.
Yeah, my brown sparkle. So in fact, I need to take that out of the other
The good thing is that you could just also keep an eye on her Lovecraft to see if she updates and see if you find a pattern that she, because she does add patterns semi-frequently.
Yeah. I do love Kay. She's that's KF Jones from Bakery Bears, Bryony Bears, and she is very talented. She has my kind of viewpoint in terms of just because it looks complicated doesn't mean it has to be.
Right.
So she understands my way of doing things.
And speaking of Kay, I do have a pattern to show for hers. That is my segue.
You were assuming I was finished.
Were you finished?
Yes, I was finished.
I figured as much because it sounded like we were on a waffle.
But I like waffles.
In my little skein in the big wool. Wait, big skein, little wool. No, little skein in the big wool. Little skein in the big wool.
Not big skein, little wool?
I feel like it was a little skinny in the big wool.
I'm just trying to throw you off.
My Velveteen Rabbit bag.
It's a bag that's older than dirt.
This project, this is the Clip Sock project, and the pattern is Vanilla Cream Socks by K.F. Jones. So, this is yarn I've had for a while. Because it's mostly black, I knew I needed a plain pattern for it.
All right.
This is a nice pattern to work if you just want to do nothing but knit.
So it's a plain, it's just like a vanilla sock?
Yeah, but she has like this nice little edging here.
It's like a ribbing, right? I mean,
well, here's the ribbing and then this little separator.
Does it have a lot of those separators, or
no,
just the one?
There.
Okay.
And it's just, it allows the color, the little pops. You feel like you're being rewarded every time you get those little pops of color. But this couldn't have been in a pattern; it would have broken things up too much.
Maybe a hat.
Maybe a hat. Yep. And this is
hat or a scarf.
Yarn by
Wild Hair.
Thank you, Wild Hair, and the colorway is Eclipse. I think I probably picked it up with Davina in mind.
Probably.
Because I knit another Wild Hair yarn that was black with rainbow pops for Davina. The color pops were more frequent in hers. I knit that poncho she sometimes still wears out of that.
Right.
It was an Italian pattern. Actually, a lady, when I was still in Ravelry, the lady put it on her pattern page, like as one of the ones shown.
Right. That's always fun.
Yes. I think because I chose such bright colors and weird color combination compared to like everyone else. But yeah, I started this only a couple days ago. It works up super quickly, and I was super motivated to work on it because it's just going round, and every time you're just like, ooh, look, here comes another pop of color.
Yep, that's fun.
It is. So there, I can't work on this in the dark, just because it's not totally bright. It's just bright at points. But this will add a bit of...
Reminds me of Blacklight.
Yes.
I think that's the name of the color, Blacklight.
No, it's Eclipse.
Eclipse?
Yeah, I think Davina's might have been Blacklight.
Maybe, yeah. Because I know she had a color Blacklight.
Yeah, I think that the one I made her poncho out of was Blacklight. But, yeah, this is going to be a very different in comparison to a lot of socks in my collection right now. I don't have anything quite like this, which is fun.
Are you done?
Indeed.
Okay, let me see here. My last one is in my Emma Owl bag. See, Emma, I'm still using it because I love it so much. Emma, I hope you're okay. Haven't heard from you in a while.
Yes.
Okay. This is my Ice Baby blanket. And I worked a bit on this. This is also from the Sarah Bell pattern by Sarah Sweetheart. I'm pretty sure I worked on this one during the hair appointment. This is how much I have of the first skein. I have two more skeins, I think. The Crystal gave me 3 skeins of it. The yarn was given to me by Crystal, who is Chronically Crochet. Thank you, Crystal. And it's going to go for charity, either to the pregnancy center or to somebody who has a baby. One of my close friends, her daughter just had a baby, but I think her mother probably took care of the blankets. So
right.
I'm not going to step on any toes that way.
Ooh, sorry.
Because she crochets as well. But yeah, this is I've never used ice yarn before, and it's a little rough on the hands, but not too bad. And I think once I wash it, you're right.
I'm getting really bad cramps. I might have to pause it a second, walk around on it because it's foot, toe, and calf.
Okay, well if you have to do it then.
So we'll be right back, and I just need to walk this off. Ow, 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 ow. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. I was having some pretty severe foot leg cramps, and I had to walk it off. So, were you in the middle of talking about that? Or were you done?
I don't know if there's anything else to say about it.
Okay, did you at least show it? Because I know you were talking about it. Sometimes you forget to show it.
Let's see here. Somehow I got it twisted when I got up to do what I had to do. I think I showed it, but I'll show it again.
I can never remember if you actually do.
And I think this might be a preemie blanket because this is almost 1 skein, and I've got 2 more. So it might maybe not a preemie, but maybe a newborn. And what I might do if I really want to make it a little bigger is I might do an edging with a complementary color or a contrasting color, which would be absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Because this is really nice. It's going to be a nice, warm kind of blanket. So, yeah. Thank you, Crystal.
Let me just put on my sweater.
I hope you're feeling better.
chilly.
She said she had a rough week. Just before Thanksgiving, because her podcast was a week old when I was looking at. She gets a lot done. She made the cutest little gnomes.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, bride and groom gnomes.
Oh.
I guess for her son and new daughter-in-law.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they're cute.
Now, I have one more project. This is another matter of
I have none more projects.
Stardoses.
None more projects.
None more projects?
Yeah. Tony, nunts. How about nunts?
Okay. So I called these the Peridot socks.
Paradox?
Peridot.
Peridot.
Like the stone.
Okay.
And
All right.
it's the Bavarian Diamond Sock pattern by Judy Sumner. And Judy Sumner was the designer that I was talking about, where I have a ton of her sock patterns, and they're all sport weight. So...
It almost matches your little bookworm.
Yeah. This is some yarn that Mom had dyed up for me. I had thought of designing something out of it, and then the design didn't work out the way I wanted to. And when I realized that this had nylon in it, I decided that it would be much better as a pair of socks.
And what's the name of that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have given the colorway.
I think it's Master of the
It is
Hunt.
Master of the Hunt. Yeah, Master of the Hunt. And she can then also have pictures of how it works up, but
Boy, it's showing the design really nicely.
that's what I really wanted from this. And I had fallen in love with the black and white picture,
Very nice.
and it's just showing very beautifully. I think I have a few more rows to go before I start the heel flap. And this was all in one day.
Wow. Very good.
Now by the end of it, because you can see where there's back loop, not single crochet, it's knitting through the back loop here. So by the end of the day, my hand hurt a little bit.
Is that a twisted stitch of some kind?
It twists the stitch when you
Yeah.
knit through the back loop.
Yeah.
Kay and Dan really like the knit through the back loop ribbing,
Twisted
and that's
rib.
what this is too. It brings it causes you to have a little bit of a raised stitch, which is what you're seeing here, and then here. So it looks really pretty, but after a ton of knitting through the back loop, my hand was hurting a little bit, so I took a
was it?
break. Yeah. Well, I also was knitting this nonstop. And I had initially tried to knit the Insomnia socks, but I wasn't liking how they were turning out with the yarn and needle choice. It was looking too big. And I started knitting up twice with 2 different needle sizes. Got to a certain point, decided I didn't want to do it. And then I settled on this one, started it. I think I actually did get started with the needle size I wanted to. So I tried knitting socks with this yarn like 3 different times. So that's probably part of the reason why my hand was tired. It had less to do with the actual
Might be.
pattern and more to do like I knit almost to the same point in 3 different pairs of socks. Not quite to the same point, but
Right.
yeah, I'm very happy with how it's turning out. This is an enjoyable first time with her patterns. I have a feeling I'll be doing a lot more of them. It just matters what sport weight I have available to me.
I have a ton of sport weight because somebody was going to do a design.
Right.
So, I have a ton that she can. I just have
Well,
to dye
it'd
it
be a
up.
good way for you also to play with some of your semi-solid, because it would be nice for some of the more complex ones that she has. She has plain and complex, but it might be fun for you to work out some of your semi-solids that I know that you wanted to develop.
Right. Let me just get this started and I'll put it away so we can move on. Because I don't like to end on a partial stitch. I was trying to explain this to Grandma. I think she got it. My mom was here my mom and dad were here for the holiday.
I'm glad you remembered to give it to her, because I was going to say something and I forgot.
I gave her the pattern and everything, and she said she has a book about how to do the stitches, so I gave her that too, apparently, a while back.
I'm hoping that she'll enjoy that, because I think that it'd be fun for her to have another, pattern in her arsenal.
Well, her eyes kind of got wide when I started talking about things like multiples. She's like, was like, no, it's not hard. Tried to explain to her what it was, and she has the book, so that'll explain it.
Yeah.
And if she needs to, she can call.
Well, sometimes hearing things explained can make things more intimidating.
Yes, it can.
That's why I'm just one of those people, like, I just dive in.
I'll do that with crochet. I won't do it so much with knitting. Although I have done it with knitting on occasion.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Like, it took a little while for knitting to sink in, because I remember I tried to teach myself English first with holding it in, the other hand. Yeah. And I just couldn't get the hang of it. I was getting frustrated, muttering to myself, that kind of thing. Switched hands, and it got a little easier. Now I can do it with both because I've done it with color work, but I still am most comfortable with the yarn in my left hand.
Right.
So, I mean, crocheters have a little bit of an edge because we already know how to do the yarn tension.
Well, I know that the lady I took one lesson. I went to the local yarn shop, and I wanted to just get a feel for it a little better than I had.
One basic lesson you've done, like I've done at the Fiber Festival.
Right. But that, I didn't get anything out of that.
Yeah, I barely did either.
I learned how to read a chart.
reading. Yeah.
But she just taught me how to. She said, teaching crocheters is easy because they have a feel for the yarn already.
Yeah.
They have the tension. They have, it's just kind of. The thing that was kind of intimidating for me was dealing with two pointy sticks as opposed to the one hook.
Right.
But that was fine once I got to it.
One of the nicer things about knitting is that at least all your stitches are on the needle. So if you're working with a darker yarn, it can actually be easier to see.
Right.
Whereas crochet, sometimes you're like, where is that stitch?
Right. Especially if you're working with slip stitch. I was working a pattern for Anastasia Sattel. I was one of her test knitters for the slip stitch scarf pattern.
That was your first test knit, wasn't it?
I did so many for Anastasia. Anastasia was my first person I test knit for. And she test crocheted. I thought I was going to just... But my husband loved the scarf so much that he took it. So it's... And I do... For crocheting, that's a nice stitch. But it's just... You have to... If you're not paying attention, you miss the stitch.
Right.
And you think, it's not... It's even less work than a single crochet. It should be really easy. It's a little more difficult because it's so
Well, it's got less
compact.
of a foundation.
Yeah, it's so compact. But anyway, okay, I don't have any more projects.
Me either. So that leads us on... There's no frogs, right?
You have an F other, right?
Yes, I do. And you do not, correct?
No, I do not.
Okay, so you might have guessed because they weren't shown, and I forgot to grab the sock blockers. These are my All Is Cool socks, which is the All Is Calm pattern by K.F. Jones. And yeah, this is in the colorway rotary dial.
They're pretty.
And it's got, you can't tell because I didn't remember bringing blocker with me, but it's got some lace in between, like the ribbing look. This is my first pair. It's supposed to kind of help cool my foot a little bit when I need some cooling while still keeping it warm enough.
Right.
I've actually not worn any socks with lace work in it yet, so I'm really excited about these. And they have nylon in it, so they'll hold up. And this was Allegheny. Was it Allegheny Fiber Arts? I think that's what it was.
It has an interesting texture on your skin.
Yeah.
It's not overly stretchy.
It's fairly stretchy. It's got ribbing to it.
I feel like it's overly stretchy.
You gotta do this with your hand.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And also you gotta remember, well, you're barely doing, I'm doing this.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing my hands up like that. Like I'm trying to hold a ball in my hands.
Yeah. It feels like it's very difficult to stretch.
Well, you want it to be kind of tight to begin with, as long as you're able to get it over your heel.
Right.
Because
I don't think you'll have a problem with
the
that.
yarn eventually does
it loosen up.
So you don't want it
Because you've got ribbing here, so it
yes,
should
you
be
got
fine.
ribbing, and you've also got the lace.
Right. It's like you have ribbing on your heel.
No, that is your typical
Gusset.
gusset. It's my
Heel flap.
preferred
Heel flap and gusset.
It's my preferred heel flap and gusset, where you slip knit on the right side and then purl across, because I feel like it gives a nice thick heel flap.
I like the way it looks.
Oh, this is my favorite kind of, like, anytime I have a sock that doesn't have this heel flap, heel turn, I'm always like, oh, but it's so much prettier the other way. Like, I was thinking that with my colorwork socks.
We could just change it if you want
I
to.
could, and next time I might.
This, I like the way it looks. I've seen some heels where they look really strange.
Yeah, that's one. And I don't really care for afterthought heels.
Yeah.
These feel very nice
Don't
on
you
your
have to cut
foot.
for those?
It depends. Like, if you do it like I do with my Christmas stockings, you hold the stitches, and then you keep going, and then you just remove the stitches that the thing that you held, you pick up. I prefer that. I don't see the point of cutting when I could just do that. Now, I know people do the cutting if they just want to knit a tube.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I have
that
done
tube sock where you do both of them.
And I've done it like that once, because I actually squealed when I had to cut it. I did it with, the girl who gave you all those toy patterns, Lauren, yeah. Because she had a video of how to do it, and I did it with her. I thought I was going to, die, but...
It's only yarn, right?
Yes. So you can claim I did a steek. Not really.
Okay, that's really pretty.
So, yes, I'm really happy about these. That leads us on to, for beads and string, I have stuff that I'm working on, but I can't really bring it over because it's just would be inconvenient. I have multiple orders because I have a sale going on right now. So this could be my busy season. It's a 25% off sale from November 25th to December 25th. I think it might end on midnight, December 25th.
Mine actually says 26th. I don't know if I hit the wrong day on the calendar or what.
That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe started yours a day later than me. So yeah, that sale's going on right now, and sent out 2 orders. 2 people ordered sacrifice beads. I received the onyx beads for someone else's order, and I'm waiting for his centerpiece from Lord's. It got shipped, but it's coming from France, so it's supposed to arrive by the 16th. Then I've got my first Juan Diego rosary that I started, and my grandma ordered a Stations in Spanish, one of those chaplet
for my aunt.
Yes. So that's about that is actually exactly halfway through. I just need to look at the correct. I used one of the translating programs online to translate the little booklets that I have to go with the stations into Spanish, and then I have my grandmother proofread it. So I need to print out her corrections so I can edit it so it actually is the most correct Spanish that I could have. And then I'll seem like I'm all amazing and stuff, sending Spanish stuff with a Spanish chaplet. And they'll be like, whoa,
mind blown.
And they'll try to speak Spanish at me. I'll be like, no hablo.
Okay. Is that touching on your shop?
Yeah, that's about all for my shop.
Okay. My shop, I don't have any graphic novel. My shop also has a 25% off sale running from the 25th to the 25th, although apparently it says the 26th, so I get an extra day off of that. I've already made a couple sales on that. I have been updating the shop a little of a time. I have put up a few new skeins. I have some more to put up. For those of you who are wondering about the kits, the bags are finished. I have received them, but I probably will not be listing the actual pre-orders where you go to my shop and buy it until after the first of the year, because I have too many things going on, and I'm about halfway through the main portion of the kit, but I have to finish dyeing the main skeins plus getting together some of the other things. So at the earliest, it will be at the first of the year. Don't be concerned if you don't see it. If you put in a pre-order with me at PHN or privately, you have your order. It just won't be in the shop until everything gets together, because I don't like taking people's money until I have the whole thing together.
Right.
So it is there. It's for your protection and for mine that I'm not listing it until it's finished. I do have the bags. I'm about halfway through the skein of yarn that goes with it, but I'm trying to pull things together, and because of Christmas, I am going to be doing a little bit of the kit and a little bit of Christmas. So that's what's going on there.
Finished.
No. So it is, I am working on it. It is there. I just don't want you to worry that, hey, where is it?
And that wasn't sass. That was a reference.
It was a reference, yes. It was a movie reference.
Yes.
So,
slightly oblique, but...
So, yeah. So if you just keep an eye on the shop, and I'm not sure if I'll put them all up together or I'll put them up as they get finished. We'll see. I'm still playing around with ideas and things like that as I move. So, yeah, this will be a lot of fun, and just keep your eyes out for that. Keep your eyes open for Christmas/winter yarns. I have had a couple orders already with the sale, so if you want the sales, this time of year, I do have sales throughout the year, but this time of the year is my steepest sale, and it's also my longest sale. It's going for a month.
Well, this is a new sale for you.
It's a new sale for me. So you might want to take advantage of that. Okay, I have, I may put some tea and tail stuff in. I do have tea and tail stuff up in the shop already. So that's there. And I was going to ask about, this is something just to keep in your mind. We mentioned this briefly, that if the prices go up to such a point that I need to either raise my prices or knock off the free shipping, which would you prefer? Okay, just keep in your mind. I take things into account, and then I have to make my own decision. But I would kind of like to know, when the time comes, if I have to do a price hike, how you would prefer to do it. And I'd hate to have to hike the yarn and still have the.
Well, I know it's been kicking around my mind whether or not I just want to take off the free shipping. Etsy was being so pushy about it for a while.
It was, and in fact now it even still says things, well, if you want to recoup what you're losing.
Yeah.
No, the whole idea was you wouldn't pay shipping. If I up my price to recoup my shipping, then you're still paying for shipping. It's just not coming up as shipping.
Right.
So
I simply don't have the funds to I keep paying for shipping.
I don't know if I'll be continuing that or not. We'll see as things move forward. I don't like to raise my prices if I don't have to.
It's a lot easier just to add the shipping because people don't always. People usually expect some sort of shipping.
Right, and I don't mind. I don't, if somebody does, maybe I'll up the price for the free shipping. Maybe I'll up it to a,
I don't think you can.
Yes, you can.
I thought it was automatic.
Well, what they've done is automatic, but I think you can do it at any point. Free shipping for such an. I have to look into it more, but if I do, higher prices, that might be worth it as well. But something I'm just kicking around, Ty's kicking around as things go up because of supply issues and things like that.
Well, especially since I'm also thinking of branching out into different stones for beads. I'm looking at tiger's eye. I've got turquoise sitting in my cart. Probably going to be turquoise first because tiger's eye is a bit more expensive. Though I love the look of tiger's eye.
It depends on the grade of turquoise, because I had a friend whose father worked in turquoise and he was explaining to me about the different grades. So, but that's
and
I think you have to be careful with that too, because the lower grades could be
a little brittle.
Yeah.
I have onyx already available,
and that one you have
and then I have agate. So right now I have just two kinds of stones. Agate's a 12 millimeter. The onyx is a 10 millimeter. So one thing I like about the stones is they're not quite as cold as the stainless steel,
but they have some of the weight.
And they have some of the weight.
They're not quite as heavy, but they.
But they also aren't. So they aren't. But they aren't quite as warm as the wood. They're kind of a nice in between feel, which is nice.
And I may have you, when you redo my Immaculate Conception, I may go with the blue agate, but we'll see. See what we do with that. But
there's also some really pretty blue turquoise too.
I'd have to be sure of how well it holds up.
Right. Well, they usually put the grades on there. And also they have the same thing for agate where they mark the grades. I think the one I have is a grade A.
Because the Immaculate Conception is the one I sleep with.
You would probably want a triple A grade, because I think that's probably the highest. I have to look into the grades of stone. I should probably do that research. But yes.
Anyway, that's the shop stuff. We are moving forward, both of us. So if you see something, I'm putting up a lot of fingering sock for my DK people and my sport weight people. If you want it in, or worsted, you want it in a different weight, let me know. And if I have it and I have the ability, I'll do it for you in the different weights. I just have to have some time, because most of my customers do like fingering weight. I do have some repeat customers who like the DK. If you like sport, or if you don't see something in the DK that you like, let me know. I can, try to to work that with you. It just might take me a little longer if I don't have it in stock, or if I have to dye it up for you. And that's, just the nature of the hand dyeing. It takes a little time. Even if I get right on it, it takes at least a day to dye it, then to rinse it, then to let it dry out, and to reskein it, and all that kind of stuff. So, you're looking at least a week, at least. And that's if I don't have any interruptions.
Right.
So, but I'm more than happy to work with you if I can.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think I'm going to reorganize my sections in my shop. I might have stainless steel rosaries, stainless steel chaplets, wood rosaries, stone. How would I write? Semi-precious stones? Is that what they are?
Whatever they call them.
Yeah, because I'm not sure what they're called because they're not costume jewelry. But if you just say stones, people are going to think rocks.
Right.
I had to look up what the definition for semi-precious is.
Yeah. I think I may, as we get closer to the end of December, and I might have, well, I do have it, I might put as at least a tag, but later on I might have a section for tea and tails.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have tea themed and tails themes. And that might include some of your superhero things and that kind of stuff. But, and that way it'll be easier for you guys to find. Or if I decide to do some kind of flash sale for tea and tails, or not a flash sale, but a little sale for tea and tails, it'll all be right there.
Well, my thought process for reorganizing my thing is that then people who are looking at the stone area already have in their brain that they're willing to spend a little bit more, so it's not as much of a shock to their system. If you're looking at stones like turquoise and onyx and all these other kind of things, you kind of already have in your brain that you're willing to spend it a little bit more.
And I was thinking about branching out a little bit. I have to look into it. Taya has already done some of this stuff, so I'm going to have to ask her where she did it, is maybe having a mug with the Lady Vertigo Creations logo, maybe tape measures. Stuff like that.
I used, well, I'll tell you my source.
Yeah, I know what you told me, but I know what it's at. But anyway, I'm thinking about doing that. That might not come from my shop. It might come directly from the supplier.
To be quite honest, I actually like the ability to send it myself.
It's just finding especially with a mug, finding the boxes to put them in.
If you look on Amazon for mug boxes, I think you could probably find something.
Well, before I decide to do that, I will look it up. But I would,
or you can do packing it really well with, because we have all the bubble wrap downstairs.
Right, but I still need to find the box.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm concerned with. So if I can find a mug box, then I might do that. Maybe a white mug with the Lady Vertigo Creations and maybe a light blue one or something. And
the only problem with setting it directly from another place is that then you don't have your card in there.
Right.
You don't have your receipt in there.
Yeah.
It's just it has a different feel than when it comes directly from your shop.
So anyway, if you would be interested in having some of those kind of things come out from Lady Vertigo Creations, let me know.
And that reminds me, we had the vintage PHN mugs with the old logo. I still have those in the shop. I have them here. And I still have the vintage Franciscan Gypsy Designs mug with the original, 10 toys on there. Might not even be 10. It might be 5.
I've got my pens and pencils in there.
When you call it vintage, it sounds like
vintagey.
Nicer.
Yes, it does. But anyway, so I was thinking about that. I will not have vintage of Lady Vertigo Creations, just the current Lady Vertigo Creations.
Well, mine are vintage because I've had them so long.
Well, I don't have permission to use that, even though she gave it to me. It's not my husband's artwork or my artwork, so I'm not going to use it. I will have what my husband has done for me if I decide to go that route. We'll see.
And that leads us on to stash enhancements.
Okay.
First thing I have to show, I'm not going to completely take out of all the little things. I picked up because I registered that I probably need to put on Dad's sweater when I eventually finish it, the washing instructions, because I don't want him to automatically throw it in the wash. I know that Mom will try to catch him, but you have to be careful. So I got a bunch of these from Knit Picks. I have different washing instructions, and this says hand wash, dry flat, which is what he needs for his. So I think it probably has to be sewn double.
I wish I had one of those for grandmas. I gave my mother. Do you guys remember?
Oh, the grandma's really good about it anyway.
Yeah, I told her about it. You remember that yarn that I had for a long? I was doing a Cerebel stole. It was that kind of green yarn that Laura Smoot gave me, and I gave it to my mom. It was meant to be for her birthday 2 years ago or 3 years ago before COVID hit. And so I gave it to her when she was here for Thanksgiving, and she really loves it. But anyway, it has to be hand-washed because it's non-superwash wool.
Between the fact that A, she's very good about following instructions, and B, on a shawl, it would stand out a little more. Everyone expects a little tag on the back of a sweater.
Yeah.
On a shawl, it might actually look a little tacky.
Well, not if you put it in the inside.
But there is no inside on a shawl.
Well, that would be the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like on a shawl, it runs the risk of making it look tacky. Whereas for sweater, like I said, everyone expects a tag in the inside of a sweater. Then I have some other stash enhancements. Or do you have something to show first?
I have tea.
Okay, well,
and then something special I want to show at the end.
Okay. So this is... Both of these were free because I used my points. Free shipping and free samples. So this was completely free. Always nice when you can get something completely free. An extra black forest cake because they're not sure if they're actually going to end up stocking this. They were trying this tea out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on trial. And this is another one that's on trial. Someone said this was very good. It's green tea, so I'm hopeful. Cranberry nut muffin. Green.
Well, that sounds good.
So what's in this one?
That's going to be strong.
This is green tea, apple pieces, cocoa nibs, orange raspberry leaves. It's orange, raspberry leaves. Cranberry, safflower, natural cranberry flavor. Yeah, it's going to be strong. Pecan flavor, natural vanilla flavor. You're not going to taste that vanilla. You're going to get like a strong cranberry all across the board. The only thing that will help us is the green tea.
Yeah.
And green tea has its own strong taste.
The thing you're going to have to be careful not to oversteep it because it's got raspberry leaves.
Well, it's a 180 for 2 to 3 minutes. I'll probably do it for the 2.
Yeah. Because I remember...
Although knowing Jim, he probably would say do it for the 3 minutes. No, what does he say? 2 minutes the first time and then 3 minutes the second, I think it is.
Right.
Because it gets a little weaker.
But he would suggest...
And this is a 180.
Possibly lower... Yeah, I don't know if... that he doesn't like the raspberry leaves. Jim is like our guru, okay?
Yeah, at Adagio.
At Adagio. There are a couple people there who are like that. And he seems to be very knowledgeable.
I sometimes will look at his thing if I'm not quite sure how I want to steep it when he reviews something. I want to do this toward the end because this was a gift and this was really special.
Yeah, but this is special too, and I want it to go last.
Okay.
I guess it doesn't have to, but that's what I was talking about. This is my December tea. It's my equivalent of an Advent calendar. It starts December 1st, however, like most Advent calendars do.
Yeah, I can't remember if I showed them the Advent calendar for myself. No, I did. I just didn't have it open.
This, I've already started the first one. You saw the first one. I went through and I marked them with numbers.
And she's doing it the day before.
I drink it the day before. I mentioned it at the top of the show that I do it the day before so I can write everything up and have the picture taken. So when tomorrow comes, I have it ready and I can just put it on and not have to be scrambling because my days are pretty tight, especially in the morning. So, and then if I don't do it in the morning, I forget. So, and then you get points for things. And I have something in mind that I want to do for those points. So I don't want to miss any. This is the...
post photos. This is, you have to scan this. Oh no, you only scan this if it was a gift. So like say you gifted this box to someone, they scan this side, then they know, okay, yeah, you guys, that's the only way they know that that person has a box.
Oh, okay, so they can then, like if I got that box I wanted to, and I gave it to you, then you would have to scan it.
Exactly.
So,
but because this was for yourself, you're fine.
Right. So here's all of them.
And you had to let them know if the scanning thing didn't work, because then you talk with them.
I tried standing them up, but they weren't quite. They were a little too tall to be able to close the box. So I just put them, because it's 31 months.
31 months, huh?
31 days. I put 7, 7, and 8, or 7, 7, and 9, or whatever it was, so that I could have them lay pretty flat.
And numbering really helps.
It does.
Because they will slide all over the place. That's what mine did.
Yeah. So this is... That way, I'm trying to keep at least somewhat in a semblance of order. And I have, with the numbers, I also have, Taya had shown me where to find this. And I went and I put what the order was for each of them. And that way, I know the name just in case I mix up the numbers. So that's in here. It's a nice little box.
Yes, it is. And I skipped December because I have the Advent calendar instead. And I'm not looking at the spoilers for it because I want to be surprised each day. Now, I accidentally did December 1st ahead of time because I thought for some reason in my brain that the calendar would start with the liturgical Advent, which was Sunday. So I won't have December 1st, the Advent tea, like everyone else who has the Advent calendar. I'll start December 2nd.
Right. And I started, like I said, I'm doing it a day ahead, but I don't post it until the next day.
And there's no posting for mine. We just do it in the chat because, you can't do pictures for
Right.
it. And I'll be starting again with the community in January for my birthday.
Yeah, this is a community.
Yes.
December. I'm just using it like an advent kit.
And with my points, it was like Friday or Saturday, hi there, Felicia.
And food.
Hi, Fawn and Felicia. So with my points from my community, I managed to win enough points to get the community mug for free. So it's coming in with my January box.
Right.
Because I want to take advantage of the Cyber Monday sale, which was free shipping. And I was going to get the January box anyway, and my free community mug.
Now, they had a sale over at...
I forgot you
Teapot.
picked up some.
The Teapot. And what I did was I rounded out my holiday teas. I got from them the naughty, not nice. No,
Naughty and Nice.
Naughty and Nice. And then the candy cane. I might have to get another Naughty Not Now.
Naughty and Nice.
Naughty and Nice, because I actually really like that. I didn't think I was going to, but I do. So I had to make sure I have that as well, because I gave Ty the other one. Mm-hmm. This is the Teapot.
You haven't shown this yet?
Pumpkin. I just got it. Pumpkin spice chai. So we'll see how I like this. I think I'm going to try this as a latte with maple. And that'll be really good. And you might like this, Ty. I don't think I will necessarily. This is a green tea sweet magnolia.
Oh, I like green teas.
Okay. And then Ty wants to go last, so
Yeah.
Ty gets to go last.
I don't usually like to do tea bag, but I'm willing to for a green tea.
This is, I wanted a holiday mug, a Christmas mug. And Plum Deluxe has they had a snowman and a Santa. And I was like, well, the snowman can be used all winter, but I want the snowman. So I hemmed and hawed about it, talked a little bit to Ty about it. I got the snowman. I don't care. I'll use it however well I want.
You mean you got the Santa, not the snowman.
Santa. This is the
Well, it's very classic.
18 ounce. It's really cute. It's dishwasher safe, but I won't do it in the dishwasher. And they sent me a chocolate mint, like the cookie oolong,
And
which
it comes
I
from
love.
Plum Deluxe.
Plum Deluxe.
I'm
yes.
not sure if you had said that.
Yes, I did.
We've represented all three of our tea places. Well, three of our 4 tea places, because we have not represented Simpson and Vale.
Right. And then we have our local shop, which we use once in a blue moon.
Yeah, we don't use it very often.
No. And we don't, actually, Simpson and Vale is not overly, we use them in spurts.
Yeah, we use them as birds.
Yeah. I mean, we still haven't gotten through the Parks teas.
Because we got distracted.
Because we got distracted. Yep. So this is, yeah. I really like that. I think it's adorable. The
It's
snowman was
adorable.
cute too, but this was what I wanted.
Well, good. You should have gotten
So I
that.
wanted this one. Very reasonably priced. And it's big. Very
Yes, which is nice. That might be nice for your latte.
big. Yes. That's what I was planning on it. Christmas lattes.
Now, for me, this was a bit of a surprise. I was on Community doing my chat with everyone there at Adagio, and someone said in the comments, hey, my Advent mug, the lid doesn't quite fit right, and I'm not using it. Does anyone want it if they don't mind that the lid doesn't fit right? I'm willing to gift it to someone. So I sent her a message saying, hey, I just wanted to make sure that she was serious about gifting it, because I really can't pick up a mug right now. Couldn't justify. I was like, hey, I can't afford to pay, and if you want to wait for someone else who can't afford to pay, I understand, but if you are just giving it away, I'd be really interested in the mug. She was serious about just giving it away, and apparently when she said something to Adagio, they must have been like, hey, it was our bad that it doesn't fit. So she got to keep her defective mug, which she has no idea what she's going to do with. I took a picture of the things that we put on top of our mugs in case she wanted to get one of these so she could still keep her mug warm. But I got the brand new one.
Why did she send you the brand new one?
It came directly from Adagio, so she didn't have to spend any money.
Okay, gotcha.
Because otherwise she would have had to pay shipping.
Right, okay.
That's the only reason why I think it might have come from Adagio.
Right.
I'm hoping that that's what the case was, not that she bought it for me.
No. Well, she couldn't buy it.
That's right, you couldn't. You're right. Because
You have to spend
the
a certain
only
amount.
way you can get this mug is to spend $100 on other things, and it comes free. So for me to get someone and I had really wanted this mug, but I knew I couldn't have it. So to be able to get it free like this, it's a really nice mug. It's an interesting mug insofar as it's double walled or something, because it doesn't get hot on the outside, even if the tea's hot inside. It's a 12 ouncer, which is perfect for the community packs. and for the Advent.
And I hear Davina's starting to get our stuff out for lunch. It's 2:00, Taya.
Yeah, we need to finish. So this says Merry Christmas on it in many different languages, and I'm very happy with this. I bet the community one is about the same.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about it. I don't really want to go through reading right now because
we have to get
sadly
going.
we don't have time.
Yep.
So we'll cover it next time.
Yep.
Part of the problem is we had to take we are also running long, but we also had to take a break when I had the footprints.
And we started late.
Yeah.
So we want to thank the people who commented on YouTube and or the PHN home. If I did comment for someone at home, it's because I didn't see you.
And also Thanksgiving.
And Thanksgiving. As for the ones who did YouTube, we have Looney Hiker, Wendy, who is MacGyver, Kara, Joan, and Brittany. Thank you very, very much for commenting. We are always glad to hear your comments, see what you have to say. We are very appreciative of you. You guys are awesome. So we're going to say goodbye now because we have to eat. It's after 2. And we want to wish you all a very blessed, happy week full of knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever makes your heart happy. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrated. And we hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. Episode, 480 something or other.
No, I think it's 490 something.
Where's my notebook? 480.
Oh, really? No.
That's not right.
No.
Yeah, 480.
Are you serious? I thought it was 490 something.
Maybe it is.
You might be right. Maybe I might be ahead because I am used to saving the pictures.
481.
Okay, it's from me saving all the pictures because I'm like 20 pictures ahead.
481, and that's a wrap.
Bye. Yeah, I think it's because I saved the pictures and set them up for the podcast like episodes ahead. So I'm like 20 episodes ahead.